Last night in New York, President Biden was joined by former presidents Obama and Clinton for a star-studded fundraiser in which all three blasted Donald Trump, praised Biden's record, and laid out the perilous stakes for the upcoming election. The event in total raked in more than $26 million, which is a record-breaking sum. It further exacerbates the financial disparity between the Biden and Trump campaigns, and it even impressed the Fox propaganda network. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bell before you go. I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, friends, we have a couple of clips to play in this video, but I should tell you the event was technically private, right? So I don't think the whole thing was recorded. People were probably recording on their cell phones and the press was there, but it's not like, as far as I know, we have a full beginning to end coverage of the event, which featured, I think, Lizzo and some other celebrities. It was hosted by Stephen Colbert. And obviously the three headliners were Presidents Biden, Obama, and Clinton. But we do have a couple of clips. And the one that I want to show you after I play this one from Fox is President Obama laying out some of the accomplishments of the Biden administration in stark contrast to what Donald Trump has done and what he intends to do. But first, because this is always fun, this is how the Fox propaganda network reacted to the record-breaking sum raised by President Biden just last night.
President Biden raising more than $26 million for his campaign during that star-studded fundraiser, which featured, among others, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton. You know what? There's no doubt that Biden is outpacing Trump when it comes to fundraising.
There is no doubt. And we talked about this in previous videos. It's been it's been a consistent accomplishment of the Biden administration, and in large part due to small donors and small donor donations. But in quarter after quarter, month after month, the Biden campaign and the Democratic Party have vastly exceeded the fundraising efforts of Donald Trump and the Republican Party. It's not a new phenomenon. And last night's $26 million sum will further substantially exacerbate it, because prior to this, Biden and the Democrats had more than double the amount of funds on hand of Trump and the Republican Party. Now, that's not going to guarantee an electoral victory, but it certainly doesn't hurt, right? And Trump is going to have to work overtime to catch up. And we also have reporting which indicates that he is spending $50 million of donor money and money from the Republican National Committee to pay his legal fees. So he's going to have to experience some sort of fundraising miracle to try to close that gap. Now, in this clip I'm about to play, it's President Obama in the center talking about and touting the accomplishments of, yes, himself and President Clinton, but more importantly, President Biden and what the Democratic Party has accomplished relative to the Republican Party, and giving a pretty good reason why you should vote for them in November if you are, in fact, an eligible voter.
Where we started and where we are now. You've got record-breaking job growth. You've got an unemployment rate that is as low as it has been. For African Americans, by the way, the lowest on record ever. You've got extraordinary progress building off the work we did. First, Bill Clinton passing the Children's Health Insurance Act. We passed the Affordable Care Act. Joe Biden takes the baton. He's now expanded coverage, made sure that seniors are seeing big discounts in the prescription drugs, capping insulin drug prices, capping the price of insulin at $35 where it used to cost them up to $400. Helping young people go to college, the record-setting investment in clean energy that's going to transition us to the kind of future that our children and grandchildren deserve. So, and we could obviously go on. The point is, am I at 5 minutes yet?
You have 30 seconds. You're sounding good.
The President of the United States says I can go longer. The point
some of your time to this gentleman.
The point is, look, passions get stirred by what we're against, and Joe is absolutely right that we've got not just a nominee, but frankly a party and an entire infrastructure that increasingly seems unconcerned with the essence of America, right? The idea of self-governance and the possibilities of us all cooperating and bridging our differences and moving forward. But we also have a positive story to tell about the future, and that is something that Joe Biden has worked on diligently each and every day on behalf of working Americans, and I expect him to continue to do that for the next 4 years and 8 months.
I definitely want to hear more from this fundraising event because especially Presidents Obama and Clinton, you're talking about two of the finest rhetoricians and speech givers in the modern American politics, if not all of American politics. I remember vividly when President Obama was seeking re-election and President Clinton was the one who gave like the headlining speech at the Democratic National Committee, and it's still like it's a gold standard as far as speeches go. They're both excellent orators, but again, the clips are relatively limited. Now, I want to go through some of this Washington Post article, which goes into more detail about the event. In a rarity in presidential history, 3 Democratic presidents gathered here Thursday to publicly pillory and mock another former occupant of the Oval Office, blasting Donald Trump on the economy, immigration, abortion, his character, and even his golf game. And that clip has been circulating. I'll pull that up before we end. At a fundraiser that President Biden's campaign raised more than $26 million, former Presidents Obama and Clinton took turns laying out the stakes of the upcoming election, repeatedly telling the sold-out crowd of 5,000 why Trump should never be president again. And this is a clip from, or the sentence here is about what President Obama just said. President Clinton mocked Trump for taking credits for Democrats' accomplishments. Quote, I listened to him tell us how terrible the American economy was all during 2016, end quote, Clinton said. Quote, and then by January 2017, after the inauguration, it'd become wonderful, miraculously overnight, which of course is something that Trump is guilty of again and again and again. Biden indirectly responded to concerns about his age by comparing himself to Trump. The guy denies there's global warming. This guy wants to get rid of not only Roe v. Wade, which he brags about having done, he wants to get rid of the ability of anyone anywhere in America to have the right to choose. All the things he's doing are so old, a little old and out of shape. The fundraiser, which Biden's campaign said broke records for a political event, capped a stretch of stepped-up activity for the president and represented the latest effort by his allies to flip the script on the presidential race in which Biden has faced Democratic anxiety over his age and sagging approval ratings. In recent weeks, Biden's campaign has taken a feistier tone, which we've talked about on this channel, in mocking Trump, aiming to present him as the feeble and struggling candidate in the race. On Thursday, Biden, who is 81, said he would be happy to challenge Trump, 77, to a round of golf. Quote, I told him this before we came into the Oval, before he got sworn in, Biden said. I said, quote, I'll give you 3 strokes if you carry your own bag, quote, Biden said to laughter. So listen, I think it's really important with President Obama in particular, but even President Clinton, not just in terms of his rhetorical prowess and his experience, but President Obama is still a wildly popular Democratic president, even though, in my opinion, the domestic agenda by far of the Biden administration has been more progressive and has eclipsed that of the Obama administration, let alone the Clinton administration, whose administration was by far the most moderate and centrist of the 3. But all 3 have been wildly successful presidents. And as Clinton pointed out in this speech, you know, the things that they have accomplished as a coalition, one president after another, so on and so forth, the party, the accomplishments of the Democratic Party, whatever your complaints are of it, and there are plenty of legitimate complaints to have, the record is just objectively vastly superior to the Republican Party's record, to their aspirations. And there are so many reasons to keep Donald Trump out of the White House, but also to keep Republicans out of congressional majorities as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing more clips show up. I'd love to see, again, what President Clinton had to say, what President Biden had to say, more from President Obama as well. But again, this is the right tone. It's right to tout the record, in my opinion, of the Biden administration. It's right to make fun and belittle and mock and condemn Donald Trump for the, you know, vulnerable, decrepit fascist that he is. He is both weak and dangerous, kind of like a corner dog can be dangerous. They tend to bite the most viciously. Not going to sit here and downplay the threat Trump poses, but he's not Dr. Doom. He's not Galactus. He's not Emperor Palpatine or Darth Vader. He is a decrepit fascist. He's like Adolf Hitler in one of the, Wolfenstein games, just this feebled, addled, dangerous lunatic who deserves neither respect nor the benefit of the doubt. So anyway, looking forward to seeing this again, that $26 million fundraising net. That's just that record breaking. It's going to further exacerbate the already titanic disparity between the Biden campaign and the Trump campaign. and I look forward to seeing the Fox Propaganda Network and others try to cope with it. Let me know what you think in the comments.